Hello and welcome. We are here at Public Media Network, and for tonight's show we have our special guest from Urban Alliance. Please stick around, we will be right back. Hello and welcome. My name is Svetlana Stone, and you're watching Spotlight NSU. Thank you for being here. And we are pleased to have Scott Goodwin, Volunteer and Engagement Manager of Urban Alliance, here to talk about their organization and the work that they're doing in our community. Thank you for being here tonight, Scott.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
So, how was your day?
I had a fantastic day. How was your day?
That was great. We are pleased to have you and eager to learn about your organization.
It's my pleasure.
Could you please let us know what is your role in organization and what is your journey?
Sure.
How you end up?
Absolutely. I am the engagement manager at Urban Alliance, which means my job is really to build relationships with people in the community, both students, employers, volunteers, civic leaders. What we're trying to do at Urban Alliance is speak value into some of our most marginalized populations in Kalamazoo. I got there because I'm a lifelong teacher, and I've spent teaching experiences all over the place, high school, college, middle school. But the last 10 years I spent running the GED program here in town, and that was a very affecting position for me because I was exposed to people who just did not have access to systems. And so Urban Alliance was a natural next step for me because they spend so much time doing workforce development.
So then I'm going to ask you, could you tell us about your organization?
Absolutely. So Urban Alliance has been in Kalamazoo for about 20 years. We do many things in the community, including street outreach, where we're building relationships with folks at the neighborhood level. That's been going on since 1999 and is still happening today. And we have a workforce development program called Momentum, which is what we're a little bit better known for. And that is a 6-week workforce development program for folks that have some kind of barrier to employment. And that could be a criminal background, a history of substance abuse, generational poverty. But all of our folks have to want to work, and they have to audition for the program. It's very competitive to get in. And then once they're there, we really try to focus on relationships to speak value into them, to give them the skills to be successful. That's awesome.
That's wonderful. You said there's an audition for the program.
Yeah.
So what kind of audition, what kind of skills they're supposed to have? Or
right. First non-negotiable is our students have to want to work. A lot of times we have people struggling in the system, but they're not motivated, or they're not ready to take hold of some success, or they're in a lot of crisis in life. And so we have an open enrollment process where they have to fill out quite a bit of paperwork, and they spend time speaking individually with one of our case managers and going deep on where they are in life. Are they ready to take hold of this situation? Do they have the skills to kind of name some of the barriers that are involved in their life? And we typically have about 3 times as many applicants as spots available. So it is a competitive program where we just have to find people that are in the right space to be successful.
And you are volunteer and engagement manager. Could you please let us know how people can become volunteers and how?
Yeah.
And do you have like any needs that
we
you would
always
like to
have
speak
needs?
about?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes. We
one can
can't
become.
do the work we do without volunteers. In fact, half of our courses are taught by community volunteers from across a different spectrum of work environments. Every student that comes through the program is paired with a mentor who speaks some value into that student in a one-on-one relationship throughout the program. And we have many volunteers that are doing community outreach, whether that's through regular scheduled events like block parties or trunk or treats. That's just spending time in the neighborhood every Tuesday and Friday night. So without volunteers, this doesn't happen. And so we're always looking to get great people connected to the work that we're trying to do.
It's wonderful. So how they can find you?
Yeah, if they want to find out how to get connected, Kalamazoo's website is urbanalliancekalamazoo.org. If they go to the website, they're going to inevitably find my name, and I'm the first person that they want to speak to as far as figuring out where their passions are, how they want to get connected. My job is really to help people move just a little bit further down the line and help change their hearts and their minds about what maybe they think about folks. So if they haven't had a lot of experience with people that are struggling, they probably have some preconceived notions that a lot of times aren't true. If we can put them in a place where they can deal with a person instead of a statistic, a lot of times they're challenged by that, and it causes them to change how they live their life and the decisions they make. It's super rewarding.
That's great.
Yeah.
And could you please tell me more about the people your organization served and how their life have been transformed?
Yeah.
Have any story to share?
Yeah, we have a lot of great stories. Folks that come to the program succeed at a high rate and they find employment in jobs that pay a wage that they can live on. That's very important to us. We don't want to perpetuate those systems of poverty where we're turning folks into jobs that they can't pay the bills and they can't take care of their children. So the success rate is about 80%. So folks that come to the program are finding good jobs. One of the really cool things we've been able to do is influence the mind of some local employers. So many of them have had hiring practices that have really kept our folks from having any chance to be successful. And over time, they've started to realize we're dealing with individuals, like a Svetlana. So if they know you, they're going to treat you differently, and they might be willing to give you a chance. And the success rate once they're employed is also incredibly high. Beyond that, I think we're seeing the things that just don't get measured by people typically. It's very common for us to have families that get reunited, especially young moms who've been separated from their children, or families that have been reunited because they've been broken by addiction. And so that's become very normal for us to see that people are people, they all have value. We don't think one person is more valuable than another. And so we get to spend so much time in positive relationships that we see if one family could be changed, that has a ripple effect through an entire neighborhood. So we're really working with our most marginalized folks that typically are just not seen by the society we live in. It's very easy to live in a place like Kalamazoo and never go to certain parts of town and never bump into certain kinds of folks and be comfortable. And we're really about making people uncomfortable so we can make the community work better together.
That's great. And could you please remind again to our viewers how people can connect to your organization and what the community can do to help with the work you are doing?
Absolutely, yeah. If they go to the website at urbanalliancekalamazoo.org, that's the best way to get connected. If they are interested in volunteering, if they're interested in donating to the cause, if they just want to find out about activities on the calendar and how they can come see firsthand what we're doing, that's the best place to get started.
That's great. Thank you for being here with us today. We will learn more about your organization right after this short break. Welcome back to Spotlight in a Zoo. For those of you who just tuned in, we are here at Public Media Network with Scott Goodwin from Urban Alliance. Thank you for being here with us. And Scott, I would like to learn more about your organization and the people you serve.
Sure.
So on your website, I found that Urban Alliance designs programs to help support individuals to become self-sufficient, like you mentioned earlier, and break the cycle of general poverty. Could you please tell me more about this program?
Absolutely. So we believe that the best way to learn is through relationship. And so in our program, we do all of the things that a workforce program would do. So telling people how to figure out a resume, how to apply for a job, how to act on the job. But what we find that really separates our folks is the attention to social and emotional intelligence. So how do you deal with conflict? How do you deal with authority if you have authority issues? How do you have the grit to follow through when things get tough? And so we spend an awful lot of time building up and encouraging people. Sometimes we have to replace a negative support system with a positive support system. Sometimes they have some positive support and we want to add to it. So it's very much a family feel. The folks that are participating in the Momentum program are in the family forever. No matter how successful they are, we want them to know they matter to us and we connect. And because of that, I think it really changes their minds about what they're able to accomplish. But most importantly, we have to change the minds of employers in town. Because if I get you to believe in yourself and I get you to feel like you can overcome, but no one will hire you, it doesn't change anything. And so that's the other piece of what we do is how do we change the minds and perceptions of a little town like Kalamazoo so that they can really transform families from the inside out.
That's great. Do you collaborate with anyone, and how do you reach the people who need help?
Absolutely. Yeah, we can't do anything on our own as well as we could do together. And so we really are an alliance. And so we see a lot of other issues that our students are struggling with. For example, Kalamazoo is in a bit of a housing crisis, especially for affordable housing. But we're not equipped to deal with housing ourselves. And so we have housing partners. We have folks in the community that are helping come alongside our students if they're having struggles with addiction. So we're having weekly support groups. Any opportunity that we have where we can sit at a table and figure out how to work together, we want to look at that because we know that this is a much bigger issue than we could tackle on our own, and we wouldn't even try to do that. So a lot of word of mouth is how we end up having folks recommended to the program because we've got good community partnerships. We spend a lot of time canvassing neighborhoods with the folks that we want to serve so they're familiar with us, so that they feel like if the time is right, this might be some programming that they could take advantage of. We always want to be listening to what the needs of the community are instead of trying to create needs on our own.
That's great. What kind of events you hold throughout the year? Maybe you will.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we have a lot of events, particularly in the summer, that try to revolve around the neighborhood. Block parties in June are very common. We have a couple coming up, and there's nothing like actually experiencing what we're talking about. So next Thursday, actually, October 24th, is our graduation ceremony for our most recent students, and that's at Trenches Community Church at 6 p.m. Anyone in the public who would like to attend that will be blown away by what they see. We allow every graduate to speak a little bit to the crowd about their experience. And so that's a powerful time. Many of our students have never successfully completed any programming in their life. And so to see that kind of recognition is really powerful. And then on Halloween, we're doing a trunk or treat at our site where we're always looking for people who want to come and have a car full of candy and meet some folks in the community. We have lots of community partners that'll be there talking about resources that are available, everything at the neighborhood level. So those are two dates that are coming up pretty quickly if people just wanted to get a little look behind the scenes of what we're doing.
And how old is the people you serve? What's the average of age, or maybe the range?
Yeah, the youngest students we take are 18. The oldest student that I've worked with is 63.
Wow.
I would say
because you call students
that's
students,
right.
and how old they are.
That's right. Yeah, wherever they are in life, they're still students. I would say the average age of the students we have are between 25 and 35. But it's quite a range depending on term to term. So last term, we had 28 students enroll, only 2 were female. This time, it's worked out where it's almost 50-50. So we never really know for sure what those classes are going to look like. And so the classes change and have to breathe and be versatile each time for students when they come through.
And what's the average of people that graduate from your programs? You said there is a very high...
It's about 80%.
80%.
And they're able to find jobs and keep those jobs at almost the same rate. So when you're talking about employment in today's world, we're measuring 60 days, 90 days, 180 days, and having those same success rates. So you see over time, you're really able to change the mind and the outcome of a family. I think we could do anything short term, but we're looking for long-term change, and so we want to hang in there.
Do you see them coming back and help you and start volunteering for your organization?
Yeah, we do. Some of our first graduates are now serving as teachers in the programming. I've had several that have been mentors to other students. One of the exciting things that just happened is we just hired a brand new staff person who's a graduate of the program. So for us, we want to make sure there's no us and them. We're all of equal value. We speak that all the time, and I think we're really living it out.
That's great. That's a wonderful story. And to recap, could you please remind our viewers about the mission of Urban Alliance?
Absolutely. The mission of Urban Alliance is to demonstrate through our actions that we value every person. And when we say that, we don't mean we value one at one level and one at another. We value them all as valuable. And we want to speak that value to them and to people in the community that maybe have formed strange opinions about folks. No one is disposable in our community. That's really the driving force behind the work, what we're doing.
That's great. Well, this was a great opportunity to learn about Urban Alliance. Please stick with us. We will be right back. Thank you for being here tonight, Scott. I really enjoyed to learn about you and about your organization. If there is anything we have missed and you would like to share.
I think the most important thing is everyone can make a real difference, whether it's big or small. And so if you think you'd like to be connected, but you're not really sure how, I'd love to talk with you and we'd find a way to work together.
That's wonderful. Well, this concludes this month's edition of Spotlight in a Zoo. If you would like to learn more about Urban Alliance, please check this information below. And if you know someone or would like to be on our show, please connect to Public Media Network. And thank you for being here with us tonight, and see you next time.